This is me not moving.
I think that as a kid, I can't remember being a kid that much, but I think I wanted to dance so that everyone in the room would look at me, which now feels funny because I think that's like my idea of a nightmare. So, but I'm still dancing, so that didn't change, but something else has.
This is the first choreography I remember. I think dance like no one is watching is a really interesting phrase because it's true. You should dance like no one is watching. And I think it came from people who were embarrassed, who could only let themselves go that much when no one was around. And that's kind of the opposite of how I think dance should be. I think everyone should dance together to like share the joy and share the love rather than you just have it by yourself. I think for me it's all from the eyes. Whenever I move, whether you can see stuff or whether you can only see yourself, or whether there's hair covering your eyes, or whether you're looking at someone else is usually the best way to do it, because you feel like you're having a connection not only through your body but through how anyone would have a connection with someone else. But I think it's impossible to ignore what's around you when you're moving.
This is the first choreography I remember.
I guess what I think about, if I think a lot about that phrase, is what changes when people are watching and why. Yeah, why does something change, and should it? I'm not sure. I think focus helps when you're moving, I guess, because it takes you out of what you're doing a bit more. Like, as you're moving, if you can see, if you can sort of connect to what's around you, you can, get out of your body. Because it's hard to dance when you're thinking too much, maybe about how it is. Yeah.
So I basically need to move every day. If I don't move during the day, my body tells me about it. I start to feel mouldy in places where I need to do a stretch, or I need to move it beyond the extent of sitting at a desk. And it actually makes me sadder. There's been moments where I've actually realised I just need to sit with my legs crossed instead of on a chair. I spend my whole time on the floor making weird positions as you try and do work, compared to like sit at a desk 9 to 5. I don't know how people do that. It's like a medicine in some way. Or having a coffee. You have a coffee in the morning, you have a little wriggle around. I always use my arms. I feel like out of arms and legs, my arms just move the most when I'm thinking about what's happening, or if I'm thinking about how to move, it's all in my hands and my arms. And there's something about the back. This is that feeling of having I just want to move and show you now, but there's a feeling of electricity or friction coming up your spine through your arms. I think there's always something said when people speak with their hands, because it means the words that they're saying aren't enough to communicate what they mean. I think it's your brain compensating. It's that space in between the words you're saying and what you mean, and your brain going, oh, we need a little bit of help to make sure that this person understands what we mean. While we've been talking now, my head's been moving a lot. Well, it feels like a lot. It's probably minuscule, but it feels like a lot. My hands have been severely repressed from waving around wildly to try and elaborate what I'm saying. The shift of position was totally needed. I felt completely crucified when I sat in the other place. And I'm really aware of my gaze and where I'm looking.
I think I want to say that I would rather be dancing with people, but I do think maybe I like dancing alone more. But I don't know if I know why. I'm trying to think how I feel watching other people dancing or moving. I don't know if I differentiate that much between like the volume of what they're doing. I'm trying to think what it actually is that I connect to. I think it's just the quality of someone's movement, feeling like a way into the way they are experiencing that sort of moment. I think that could be through something really minuscule or something really huge. Yeah, I think I guess it's like that thing of never knowing like how everyone's seeing the same world that you're seeing, if they're seeing it in the same way. So watching someone move is like being able to get like this tiniest insight into the version of their version of reality. Does physical gesture give you something that language can't? I don't know if it is about, because people always are talking about communicating something or expressing yourself through movement, and I don't know if I ever feel like, maybe that is what's happening, but I don't know if I feel like that's what's happening. I don't feel like I watch someone move and then I understand who they are, but maybe I feel like I understand what it is that they're seeing, or how it is, or how they're understanding what's around them, a bit sometimes. Yeah. But I don't think someone does something and I'm like, you must have done this. Like, I don't know.
This is how I will be moving.
I think I do notice if I'm dancing that I can forget about my arms, because I suppose you like are walking around all the time, so your legs are used to moving, and it's easy just to let your arms be there too. Or if I'm in a really big space, I think I just would like to roll around. I do sometimes think that's people who don't spend their life dancing, like, do they not go into an airport or somewhere really big and want to roll around? That's kind of crazy. I think I do move like a lot in conversation. I move like internally, it isn't sort of, I move really minuscule amounts a lot, like patterns of just like tensing to, oh, that's interesting actually, because it's sort of similar, like it takes you out of, I guess for me, if I'm having a conversation, then I'm like slightly moving inside even if it's not visible to the person I'm talking to, because I think it takes me out of the intensity, potentially, of the interaction. Maybe that's similar to, movement.
This is me walking.
I think so, yes. I think, like as you're moving, you get a space to sort of lose, not consciousness, but like a bit of consciousness. And then I think that like continues a bit when you stop. It's like a little high. You're like, what?
It feels very fluid. I think when I start using my head, it feels like I'm existing from like the floor up. There's a point of fluidity that means that you are just connected to what you're doing in your whole body, not just wafting your arms about, waving and wafting. Yeah. I use my face in a different direction a lot too. Different directions. That's it.
Were you like happy with how you moved?
I wasn't surprised. I think being happy with it is really hard to say because you need to be super objective about that. But I was happy whilst I was doing it. think the dancer moves to share what they're doing. It's not necessarily movement, it's the other stuff that's behind the movement, or maybe it's the movement, but it's about the connecting between the people before it is about the movement.
I think at this point I was just thinking about the other people in the room. There's 4 other people in here, and I was thinking about them. I think this was just me noticing like how specific the shirt that I'm wearing makes me feel dancing. I was really aware of like bony arms. Yeah, I think I lost something there thinking about just how sort of silly dancing is. Not to me, but to everyone else, or lots of people. And then I sort of went and found comfort in something familiar, I think. Oh yeah, I'm getting all small. I think I was thinking about someone that was once saying how small I can be even though I'm pretty tall. And then, who knows what I was thinking here? Looks like not very much. I think I was thinking a lot about taking myself out of my head, which is really difficult, I think. But there's like, now I'm watching it back, it's like, oh, look at the different ways I did that. Like, just then it was like playing really with like harsher dynamics or something to a texture that like can take me out of the thoughts. Or sometimes it's really physical, like I'm just spinning around to like discombobulate myself, just to be less in it. Oh yeah, then I started doing this. Yeah, this was kind of the spinning myself around. Also to sort of like forget where I was in a way. But like, it seems like I can only do that by actually making where I am look different, by dizzying myself. And then I sort of felt things coming to an end. So I sort of started wrapping things up, and I liked it over there by that wall. And then I remember getting to a certain position, oh yeah, like here, and thinking about how it's me when I'm old. And I just sort of stayed there. And then it ended. That's the end.
Do you find any benefit in looking back on movement?
In general? I don't know. Surprise. No, I don't know. I think there is benefit, but it's hard to feel it. I think the overwhelming feeling is just self-consciousness self-consciousness.
Does the dancer move because they know? No. No.
Yeah, I guess it requires, like, well, not requires, but it, like, contains the history of your body. What? No. It just, I think there's a lot from outside of that moment that comes in too. I feel like that's more of it, maybe. It's like bringing up stuff that hasn't happened. That's right.
I think maybe in, a few years' time, I want to. But right now it kind of ruins the moment I just had with myself. It's like a different version of me, but worse.
I'm not sure, but I feel like that's something I'm trying to, that I feel like for myself is really important to find out. Because I think if you're someone who is always moving, you end up like relying on it a lot. So yeah, trying to find that same thing elsewhere is like the goal, I think.